Hi, I'm Gail Newton. I'm a living out mentor. And really, just what does that mean? That means I work with people on embracing who they are so they can live confidently out. And with that said, let's get started. First, a little background about me. I was married twice. 17 years to my daughter's father, and then 5 years to my second husband. I had a professional career. Well, I still do have a professional career. I built a lovely home, and by all standards, this was a very comfortable life. But somewhere in my mid-40s, I had a big awakening. I realized I was gay. This was not just an overnight realization. This was quite a process of putting the pieces of the puzzle together and coming to grips with, oh my God, I really am gay. My life was reframed. I had to figure out how to live as a gay person when for over 45 years I had lived as a straight person. This was a big all kinds of questions went through my head, and I truly was going just, who are you? It became a very big self-exploratory process. I looked at my internal pictures, such as how we see ourselves, what do we think about ourselves, and then there's this constant chatter, a non-stop dialogue going on in your head. So let's look at just how do you see yourself. I know how I saw myself. I had all the expectations that my parents had for me, my church had for me, my friends, my coworkers, my boss, and I'm not really sure what was real. So do you really see yourself, or do you see a person that others have created and you bought into their critiques, their opinions, and their expectations? And then what do you think of yourself? Are they negative thoughts? Do you have some positive thoughts about yourself? There's some things about you that you're thinking that, hey, that's pretty good. Or do you have thoughts that are just indifferent, that it's neutral? The chatter it can just be paralyzing. These are auto-playing tapes that tell you day in, day out that you're no good, that you don't have what it takes, that you're not normal, that you're a failure, a nobody, a second-class citizen, that you don't belong in society. You're truly, I know that personally when I was looking at my constant chatter, I'm going, oh my God, I'm an embarrassment. You have a customized mental opera playing in stereo, and I mean to tell you, when you put your head down on that pillow at night, sometimes do you not hear a symphony going off on that you are a zero, a loser, that everybody else has figured out their life and are happy, and here you are. Now let's look at the external. Quite frequently, how we see ourselves differs from how other people see us. I always like to think that when I look in a full-length mirror and I'm looking at how my clothes are fitting, I zero in on things that bother me, whereas other people don't see it. So how we see ourselves really is a little different than how other people see us. And then when you live a double life like many, many gay people do, there is this feeling of an imposter phenomenon, that you are a fake. That when you go to work, let's say, you put on your work clothes and you're one way. You are viewed as probably everybody else in your office environment. You're trying to fit in. And then when you leave, then you are living a whole different life. It's exhausting. I can tell you, picture this, an exhausted woman on a tightrope, that you have a dual life situation going on here, that you need to maintain a certain standard, a certain impression, a certain facade when you're out in public, when you're at work, when you're at, particularly when I was at my children's school functions. And then you could somewhat exhale when you are away from that public life and you were in your social life. Everything was a delicate balance. You had to make it all fit. And when something wasn't quite fitting right, it kind of threw off everything else. And you were constantly having to make it work. There were fears and anxieties that you had to deal with. Maybe you're dealing with them right now. You have a fear of rejection from your family, afraid your family won't love you if they know you're gay. From your friends, they won't accept you or include you. And from coworkers, maybe they'll make fun of you. Maybe they won't include you in the coffee breaks. These are all fears that are unfounded. These are assumptions that you have personally made. You may have anxiety about being outed, that what you are will finally be discovered and that everything will go spiraling down the tubes. You have built the worst case scenario in your head about being outed. Then there's anxiety about, this was very true for me, and you can see I said embarrassing my children. I did have a fear that I would cause a lot of pain on my children for being gay, that they wouldn't be included in their friends groups anymore, that they would not be included in school functions and organizations, that they wouldn't want to be included or be embarrassed because I was gay. And then there's the fear of being ridiculed and being disrespected. In other words, being bullied. That who you are was not going to be tolerated, accepted, or okay by the people that you were hanging with. And you would be made fun of and picked on. Now, once again, these are probably fears that are unfounded. This is your own doings. Then there are other issues. Probably feeling guilty about being an imposter or a fraud, a fake. Maybe you felt isolated and alone, inferior, second class. That you, truly, many of us do feel second class because we don't have the rights of the straight community. You could feel like a misfit, that you don't belong anywhere, that you're always guarded. And I know a feeling of being guarded because you do not want to feel unaccepted, and you want to have the respect of the people that are in the area. It's a feeling of being lost and all alone. and that you just didn't belong. These are issues that gay people, and you know very well, that we have felt. But I'm going to tell you, you are in the position to take the lead. You can have major influence and impact on how people treat you, on how you live. The way you treat yourself sets the standards for how other people are going to treat you. It is all in your control. Let's look at this on how to break free. How do you do this? Y'all, I have lived this process. This is a 7 steps of breaking free. I have lived through this, and it is a process of working through all those self-imposed barriers and corrals. And I'm telling you, self-imposed. That how you reframe your default patterns and what you revert back to in any situation will be healthier, will be more positive. And then you live a breakthrough life. A life that is exciting, that is positive, that is full of energy. There's 7 steps that you can do to have it. And we're going to go over these 7 steps. They fall into 2 parts. The first part is love yourself. You have to learn to love yourself. Be okay with you to move on. And then part 2 is orchestrating your life. You are not a victim. You may allow things to happen to you, but we're going to go over how you orchestrate your life so it is happening according to the choices you make. All right. Loving yourself. To move forward, you must learn to love yourself. And I want to point out that impatience is resistance to learning. You must be patient with yourself in order to learn to love yourself. This is not an overnight process. This is always going on reminding yourself, on having patience with yourself while you're learning to love yourself. Step 1. Let's talk about stopping the criticism. Stop the chatter. We have this chatter going on, this negative stuff going on because it was based on some key events, some pivotal events that happened in our life, or by some criticisms, the critiques that our parents had, our teachers had, our big sisters or brothers or friends, key people in our lives. And we bought into all that rubbish. We believed it. We believed that we were no good, that we weren't good enough, that we couldn't cut it, that we were losers. We bought into it. We are listening to all that negative inner dialogue, and you know what happens? It's eroding our self-confidence, our self-esteem, self-worth, and it limits our potential. This negative self-talk is increasing that stress level. It's paralyzing us. It taints our vision of how we see ourselves. It is limiting our potential. Let's look at step 2 then. You've got to stop scaring yourself. We base so much on assumptions, on what we think is going to happen. We build the worst case scenarios in our head. We figure that we're going to be crucified, that we are going to be bullied. And we don't know that. We base everything on assumptions. But what I am telling you, encouraging you to do is find out the facts. Ask yourself, is this real? Or is this something I think could happen? Get your facts. Find out what's real. And stop scaring yourself. Step 3, be patient and kind to yourself. So what if you aren't perfect? Forgive yourself of those past mistakes. It's done. It's over. Get on with yourself. Let go and move forward. And then quit comparing yourself to others. You'll always find somebody who you think is better off than you. But remember that old adage? Walk a mile in their shoes. Really no. You're only basing it on what you say. Okay, we're going to move to part 2 of it, and that is orchestrating your life. You truly have control over who, what, when, where, and how you do things. You got control over your choices, your behavior, your actions, and when it's going to happen, the timing. You have major influence, impact, and control over your life. So let's look at step 4. Surround yourself with positive people and positive energy. You can decide, you can determine who you hang out with. Did you know that you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most? Are they negative? Are they positive? Believe me, if they're negative, and you may not even be aware of it, but they're influencing your attitude and opinions and could be holding you back on moving forward. Find positive people. Find good role models. Find happy people. Find someone that you think, God, they're really neat. I'd like to get to know them. These are the kind of people that you want to hang out with. Positive attracts positive. So let's look at step 5 of the 7-step process. Get out of your comfort zone. Leap. Stretch. Change what you are doing. Because if you keep doing the same thing, you will continue to have the same results. It is only logical. Keep doing the same old, nothing's going to change. Get out of your comfort zone. Make yourself find new experiences. Try new things that you've always wanted to try. Meet people you've always wanted to meet. Get out of your mildew. So let's then move into that step 6 that says take action. Take action on getting out of your comfort zone. Stop procrastinating. Stop paralyzing yourself. You do not wait to have confidence before taking action, because that action is going to build your confidence. Move forward. Do you know how exciting it is to actually do something that you've always said you're going to do? It's exhilarating. It is fun. You are convincing yourself that I can do it. So your step 7 out of 7 is you build that momentum and keep flying. Soar. Don't stop now. Success feels great. It's exceptional. Confidence feels phenomenal. You can feel on top of the world. You can live confidently out by following these 7 steps. And I'm going to tell you, I can help you with figuring out how to do it. It's a remarkable process. Change is challenging. Your journey can be energetic, engaging, enlightening, and supportive. And the endeavor will have significant outcomes. You will feel significant. You will feel on top of the world. You will know how to take control of your life. So what do you do about it? So let's explore possibilities and potential. Take action on living a breakthrough life. And you can do this by contacting me to schedule a complimentary laser-focused 20-minute consultation. And during this time, we will discuss you. It is all about you. You and how to get you to the threshold and through the door on living confidently out. And you can contact me at gail@confidentlyout.com. It's possible. It's possible for anybody. You need the right attitude. You need to take action and be accountable for what you say you're going to do. So attitude plus action plus accountability equals amazing results. You can live the life that you've always wanted to live. You can be living confidently out. So let's get started. Once again, we can do it by contacting me, gail@confidentlyout.com. Thanks so much for spending this time with me, and I look forward to meeting and discussing your life with you. Let's live confidently out, y'all. Thanks.